Once again, we're doing the whole live broadcast with the visual thing here on XRP Radio, as we are joined by the legend himself, the XRP Warlock. I don't know what I'm saying such weird things today. I'm just coming up with stuff off the top of my head. But it is Craig Allen Hecht himself, of his own name, the Third Bridge, Icebox Studios, which also incorporates weenies and Sea Rage and screwdrivers to ears and Breen Hammer, and I said the Third Bridge, and have I missed anything out? Have I actually missed anything?
Dirty Dan and the Mud Puppies.
Dirty Dan and the Mud Puppies! There's always one. How could you forget about Dirty Dan? Tex and Betty.
Tex and Betty, yeah, I forgot about that too.
Sorry,
jobs.
I should have stepped back and allowed this intro for the aficionado on Icebox Studios over there, ALC. Yeah. But yes, we are here, and we're here specifically to sneak preview some stuff that Craig's been clucking on about for a while.
Nice choice of words.
I know, I thought it was quite excellent.
Oh. You know, this is going to be just like the pirate joke thing, isn't it?
I mean, you leave these open doors for me, Craig. If you're going to leave these open doors, I'm going to use them.
I know. I'm going to open the door, you come walking in. Yeah.
That's it. So, I mean, I had two ways of going about this. We can either dive in and talk about the entire craziness of the Cluckzilla everything, or we could introduce, well, I need to confirm something because I listened to some of the whole of Cluckzilla so far.
Right.
I don't know whether I got specifically to the terror of Cluckzilla on one point, and I need to know whether there is a lot of this that is specifically different to the excerpt you'd given us before.
You're talking style-wise?
Well, you gave us the Cluckzilla excerpt a while ago.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. The excerpt was essentially the overture, which is the big orchestral piece in the start.
Okay.
And then it was also a snippet. The guitar riff in there comes from the Battle for the Ages, which is the big confrontation at the end of it. So it's kind of like a preview. The guitar lick was like a preview of the end of the album almost. So it's kind of the start and the finish all kind of in one little clip.
So would you say we could introduce our listeners a little bit to Cluckzilla with that excerpt and then talk about it a little bit more, and then we'll play the little sneaky preview?
Sure, perfect. Excellent.
Here we go then. So would you, well, he's already told us all about it. I don't really need to introduce this now, do I? This is everything Craig just said about Cluckzilla in a small excerpt from it.
Yep.
Okay. Is the audio good for you? Kat, I can't test the audio on StreamYard, but Kat said that I sounded like I was speaking into a cup.
I've got you really perfect. You're very warm and everything.
Excellent.
You sound great on my end.
Excellent. Beautiful. And can you hear clucking chickens?
I hear chickens, yes.
Excellent. Everything's working well. New sound setup, and I rejigged everything to make sure it was, well, I was hoping it would be perfect for today.
Yeah, no,
and
this is great.
Seems to have worked out for me for once.
No, if I get anything weird on my side, Cat's freezing up every now and then.
Yeah, well, that's the same for me. It's her computer's not amazing.
Yeah, well, that's okay.
One day, I've actually got a MacBook Pro here for her that's kind of broken, and I need to take it to a repair shop. But when she gets here, she'll have a fully nice working computer that she can do all her things off, and it won't break, and it'll be wonderful.
Well, cool.
Pretty much games on it.
It's kind of funny, you talked about playing the Terra Cluckzilla. I actually forgot where it is in the list of songs. I was like, I almost have to have my playlist up on my phone so I know where things are. Otherwise, I'll lose track of the story myself. I mean, it's, 9 songs now, I think, already?
Yeah. But I have to say, I think I got 3.5 songs in, and I just had to give my ears a bit of a rest. Not in a negative way, and I don't want to give too much. I don't want to give too much away to those listening that obviously haven't heard it yet. But I thought you'd got a good flow between songs with Captain Midnight and stuff anyway. But like the progression between everything so far has been excellent.
Thank you. Yeah, it really is. It's planned in a way. It starts out very mellow. Like Tokyo Sunrise, the second song, you know, I mean, you have to remember, it's also a movie of the mind too, you know, so
yeah.
Tokyo Sunrise, you see Mount Fuji, you see the forest, you see the farm, and, you know, close up, and the whole thing starts out very mellow and very soundtracky and very thematic, but as we go through it, you know, the music gets much more intense. Towards the end, it's pretty violent, you know. I played the whole album for my wife yesterday. We were driving home from Duluth in our car, and she hasn't heard the whole thing yet. She goes, poor Clucky. She feels bad for him. It's like, why did you blow him up? I go, he enlarged it. I didn't. The bad guys did it, not me. You know. There's this one song called "Sleep Little Chicken," where it's the night before he gets enlarged. And he goes to bed and he doesn't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and she got so sad. Tomorrow he's zapped and he doesn't know. And I go, oh, God, you know, I didn't mean to bum her out.
That's awesome. You know, the more and more you talk about it, though, the more and more I hear. Do you remember the original Fantasia video?
Sure, I do.
With the author's, well, the composer's comments in between each thing. Yep. Every time I speak to you about Cluckzilla, you more and more remind me of those composer comments between it, and I'm visualizing that. I wish we had an animator that wants to animate everything for free that we could just throw at doing that, because...
I'll tell you right now, when I sat down here and I had my buddy Dirty Dan next to me, we literally storyboarded the whole thing out as a movie. It is a movie. You know, it's just up here.
Have you actually got this, like, storyboard, like, was it mentally storyboarded, or have you got anything on paper?
No.
I like it.
No, it's all here. Craig's not loud enough, huh? I'm just seeing that in the comments. I can turn myself up on my side a little bit.
Yeah, like I kept turning you down because you sounded echoey to me, but like you are very, very loud, Tizz.
Oh, Tizz is loud? How am I doing?
I can turn myself down.
If Tizz isn't speaking at the same time as you, you're okay.
But is that better?
It's better for me. Is that better for you, Mish?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I turned mine up a little bit. I'm in yellow now instead of green.
I've got to balance everything between a million things.
I can get closer to the mic. I'm like a foot and a half away. There we go.
It's all about being relaxed. Well, yeah, because I'm trying. Well, I'm trying to cut out as much. I'm being as professional as possible here these days. It's only because I spent like ages trying to set up this new kind of sound rig that I'm trying to get it like dialed in perfectly. My mic will be more in front of me than it has ever been, and all that kind of stuff. But that's boring. That's over. So let's excerpt to the excerpt. Why are you laughing at? Did I miss something completely?
Oh, Mitch says it's much better, so he doesn't have to hear you so much.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. That sounds about right. So that was an excerpt from Craig Allen Hecht's Cluckzilla. Is the whole album going to be called The Terror of Cluckzilla then?
Correct. That is the album title, is The Terror of Cluckzilla.
But that also is going to be a track within it?
That is the title track. That is, as a matter of fact, that is the sneaky peeky song, is The Terror of Cluckzilla.
This is where I was getting so confused, because all of my MP3s that I've got from you are The Terror of Cluckzilla, but then it's The Terror of Cluckzilla, The Terror of Cluckzilla.
On the title track, right.
Yeah. Yep. I've got you. Okay, so this is meant to be a sneaky peek, which means it's the time for me as a DJ to try and squeeze as much information about the whole album as I can from you in an attempt to, get as much sneaky info firsthand prior to that.
Yeah, well, this is the part where I just kind of spill the beans on the whole thing, huh? Well,
okay. It's depending how much you wish to give away at the moment.
What I'm not going to give away is the ending.
No, I mean, I heard there might be a reason for that, and part of me leans towards the fact that, do you even know what the ending is yet?
The music's a little vague right now. Actually,
Okay.
I have the lyrics. I know how it ends. It was
So the story is set in stone.
The story is definitely set in stone, and the songs reflect that. Okay, broad overview. It's pretty much a love letter to all the Japanese monster movies I grew up with when I was a kid. I was a huge Godzilla fan, Mothra, King Ghidorah, all that type of stuff. I grew up watching all that type of thing. All the Japanese monster movies, that type of deal. Ultraman and that whole deal.
I want to just chime in there because
it.
when Craig says me and Craig are friends, he sends me images of his I'm the same, you send gear pics and stuff and room pics, and Craig has sent me, he has every one of them on DVD. Like this isn't just like when you hear someone go, I'm a fan of Star Wars, and it's because they've watched all the movies and that's about it. Yep. This is like me saying, and me and ALC saying we're fans of Star Wars, but in the Godzilla world, he's got them all. Anyway, sorry, I had to chime that in there because so many people will just be like, oh yeah, he's a Godzilla fan, is it? He's the one that taught me, for those that are fans here on XRP of Muto, he's the one that told me what Muto stands for. So let's just throw that out there. Anyway, sorry to interrupt, carry on.
Okay, not a problem. Anyway, like I said, it's kind of a love letter to all that type of thing. And the plot in a nutshell is the story of Cluckzilla is set in Japan, and the whole idea is that the government there has come up with this idea to feed the world and to make more food by taking farm animals and enlarging them. They figure, one chicken makes this much buckets of chicken. Well, a really big chicken is going to make a lot more buckets of chicken, and big cows will give big milk, and so on and so forth. The big pigs make a lot of bacon, So basically what happens here is that they get to the point where they do take Cluckzilla, or Clucky, as my wife Connie calls him at this point, and they enlarge him. But when they enlarge him, he becomes intelligent. He becomes self-aware. He gets mutated because they didn't quite set something right on the gamma ray thing when they zapped him. So needless to say, he becomes 400 feet tall, radioactive, and very, very, very pissed off. So he wants revenge on the whole human race for what they did to him. And that's pretty much it. And there is a huge battle at the end, but I'm not going to say quite yet who's involved in said battle. But there will be a bit of a special guest star in the end of the album. And so that's kind of pretty good of a broad overview, I'd say. So.
I'd like to nudge the fact that anyone that knows Craig's music would be able to hazard a guess at who that guest star might or may not be, just to add a little bit of anticipation and excitement to those people that are fans of certain tracks that you may have previously made, not to give too much away. But I mean, I know I'm excited for that battle for one.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much to say, so much to not give away, and so much to play. And I've interviewed you so many times, and it's hard to over-question you as well. But what I would say is this something? Is there going to be another? Is there going to be prequels, sequels? So is this something that's going to go any further by any chance?
I really couldn't say right now. I've put so much into this. I had to ask ALC when we actually dropped the germ of the idea. She estimates 2 years ago, which means I've had Cluckzilla on the back burner in my mind now for the better part of 2 years, as I've been doing other, songs on top of that even, It would take a whole lot to make a sequel. I mean, there are still people that want a third Captain Midnight song. And I planned on one Captain Midnight song, and now there's two, and people want a trilogy. So that's in there too. I guess never say never, not giving a whole lot away, but, I was thinking after Cluckzilla, I was going to take a break for a while, but apparently now I might be involved in a brand new Dirty Dan album. Because that song Cajun Cookout by Dirty Dan got such a great reception on XRP that now there's plans we're kind of talking about. We should do a Dirty Dan album because it really went well. And
I mean, at least an EP, but we do want you to have rest, but also we don't want you to have any rest yet.
Well, I do have a lot of games I gotta play. I got a backlog, So
I know, and two of them I'm playing, and when I play them, I actually think of you.
Well, thank you. I know I played Diablo for 10 minutes, and I still haven't fired up Final Fantasy 16 yet. I've got it loaded, but I haven't had time. So I'll probably take a week off after this and just get caught up on gaming, then go back to work.
One thing I'd say about 16 would be a good one because it's an easy play. It's like playing a film. It's astonishing. It's not so much of a game, but it looks great.
Oh yeah, I'll bet.
Typical Square Enix job, even more so. But yeah, fantastic game so far.
Yeah,
I think you should take into account though that Cluckzilla was set to be one song, and somehow we've stretched it into a whole album.
Yeah, I mean that is true. Yeah.
Yeah, when did that happen? I don't remember. I mean, I remember.
Who did it?
I know, but
I mean, I would add that nobody, like everyone wanted a Cluckzilla song. Everyone encouraged you into that. Certain people gave you ideas and searching that. Nobody actually said, "No, you've got to make this an album now." Apart from you.
Well, and it was supposed to be a funk track. I remember that really well. I think it's when you guys were playing Downtrodden a lot. And you go,
yeah.
Oh, we like the funk you guys do. So I was like, okay, so I'll write a funk song about a big, mutated chicken. And all of a sudden,
obviously, I like that. You need to write a funk song. Okay, yeah. What kind of funk? Big mutated chicken, obviously.
Well, yeah. I mean, it made sense to me, right?
But then I do remember conversations where it was like, okay, but who from Icebox is going to do this? And we kind of hemmed and hawed, and it was like, well, this would be good, but we could do one of these too. And I think that's what grew that idea in your head.
Yeah, it's a good thing you touch on that, Kat. I don't know if Tizz has really mentioned that one of the ideas of this album is that it is kind of like a collaboration of all of the Icebox Studios artists. It's got Texan Betty is on there, Sea Rage is on there, the Weenies is on there. Screwdrivers to Ears is on there. A lot of your favorite Icebox people, So it's kind of like a meeting of the mindless, So yeah, it's different.
Right. I think after all that excitement, I think we've got to play it now. So before I do play it, I know you touched on it earlier, but for those that have just joined us, what bit of Cluckzilla are we about to listen to? Give it a bit of an intro.
Okay, this is the title track called The Terror of Cluckzilla. This is the point where Cluckzilla has been turned into a giant monster chicken. He totally realizes that he's a victim of science gone wrong, and now he's ticked off. And this is him just about as he's about ready to go lay waste to Tokyo. This is him being really upset and telling you exactly what he's going to do to us as payback. So this is the Terror of Cluckzilla.
Big straight from the offset.
Yeah, I can kind of hear it.
Oh, I can turn it up. Is that a bit better?
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's got that monster movie music in the start. Yeah, it's just really classic monster stuff.
I have to say, for you, Craig, this is the biggest wave format that I've seen in a while.
I've been really trying to get my gains up higher than I'm after now. Now, something I will say. Now, the guys in the broadcast can't hear this, right?
No.
Yeah, they can.
They shouldn't be. Oh, they can. They can on the viewing, yes, but not on the.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So I can't really say anything. Well, maybe I can. It's not really giving anything away. The first half of this is the Friendly Fire theme song.
Oh yes, yes.
That's what this is right now. What you're hearing.
I was going to say, when I first pressed play, I was like, I'm sure I've heard this before.
And one of them's the Christmas one.
Huh?
One of them's the Christmas song.
One of them is the song called The Farm.
Mm-hmm.
That's the Bentleyville theme song contest entrance.
Without the bells.
No bells. It's been totally retooled. So
when you retooled it, did you remake the whole song, or did you go back, delete the bells, delete the vocals, and build on top of what you had?
I remade the whole song from scratch. I just used the same skeleton of the chords and the melody and whatnot.
Yeah.
I was actually able to add to it. I put another high harmony vocal on it, so it actually came out with a pretty.
I remember you doing this bit on. You showed a snippet of this on a video, didn't it?
Yep.
That guitar.
That middle break. Yeah, because
Yeah.
Richie Randall came on and he goes, "That's a really cool Iron Maiden lick." And I go, "Well, you're gonna hear it again, buddy. There it is."
Yeah, I remember seeing the video of you doing it.
Yep. You'd be amazed how many times I go back to those little videos that I record, and I use them as reference. I go, if it's stuck on something, oh, here's a really cool riff. Listen to it. Cool. I'll throw it into something else. It's more for my benefit than anything else.
I think there's a lot of people in the world that don't take advantage of like little recordings. I have a whole stock on my phone that I need to go back on, and there's actually one that I remember now that I hummed into my phone the other day that I want to work with you on actually. But
Okay.
constantly just humming stuff into my phone to make tracks and stuff, and eventually one day I'll come through on them.
Yeah.
This
I use
slowdown is great. Sorry to
It's okay.
kind of half-time break.
Yep.
That's nice.
Yep. Yeah, I kind of went against the beat a little bit.
But it came in seamlessly. It's almost like when you go into like a reggae break in a pop punk song.
Yeah. And the ending is really cool. The ending comes out kind of like an Iron Maiden gallop type thing. Right here.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Dave Murray on bass.
Oh, you've got the blast
Yeah.
bleed. Yeah.
Yep. A lot of power there.
I know you tend to use loops and like pre samples, but the
Yep.
snare on that drum is very nice.
Yeah, it's all sampled. Yeah, my drums are always sampled.
I'd say
Yeah,
this is possibly one of your best selected drum tracks.
Thanks, man. Yeah, the ending came out pretty cool. Oh, the ending is great now because now Cluckzilla starts stomping at the city, and you hear air raid sirens going off, and there's explosions, and people are screaming, and you hear the.
Well, this little bit's catchy as well. Catchy little
Yeah.
pinch harmonic there as well.
Yep.
It feels. It's got a really old school feeling to the production. It feels a lot like old Red Hot Chili Pepper recordings.
Oh yeah, that kind of analog-y thing.
It's very, very warm, very. It's a weird thing that I always say with this style of recording because it's almost subdued with energy.
Right.
I know that's an oxymoron in itself, but like.
That it is.
I always feel that, especially when digital production is trying to anticipate analog recording.
Right.
It kind of puts a shelf on top of it, but it almost gives it more energy because it's trying to push through that shelf.
Yeah, it's a bit more compressed. Yeah.
Right, here we go. That was the Terror of Cluckzilla for all the people on our XRP feed and those that are watching us. Hi, you can see me wave. Terror of Cluckzilla from Craig Allen Hecht. I mean, it does what it says on the tin for a start. That is the Terror of Cluckzilla.
Yep.
Definitely tell the story. I love the addition of the kind of air raid sirens at the end and kind of really bringing in that kind of movie style theme, even though you've got a lot of very kind of hard rock standard, like I mentioned at the end, that riff at the end that you're coming into is very, very catchy. So it's unique to have that mix without it sounding like School of Rock, the hard rock, the musical kind of thing, but still having that even mix between a rock song and a film music score. You've kind of got that even mix well.
Yeah, thank you. I do kind of straddle that whole thing between the classic rock sound just because of, I guess my age, I suppose, but my real influences are 70s hard rock. It's like the new stuff, the newer metal and stuff, I really don't incorporate much of that because I know stuff I know. I guess that makes any sense, like where I came from.
It shows that you're comfortable in that style, though, to be able to just display that style of music and then incorporate it into what is a film score at the end of the day. No matter if you want to call it a story or an album, the way it's coming across is a full story of a film score that's coming up to an hour, so it's even the length of a film.
Right.
Or some short films, at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The whole thing really does use a lot of sound samples. Not samples so much. I should say sound effects, maybe. A lot of atmospheric stuff. If anybody knows my music, out there, I tend to use a lot of, sound effects, like to set a sense of place. Like maybe like wind or rain or that type of thing. I like that type of thing. And this album has a lot of that kind of stuff going on. It has dialogue. It's got a lot of real movie soundtrack stuff going on with it as well, besides being a rock album. Well, okay, a rock album, so yeah. So it's definitely different, I think, than a lot of stuff you hear on XRP, but that's cool. It's a chance I'm willing to take,
I hear you mention this dialogue a couple of times, and though I haven't heard it displayed in the typical sense of dialogue, how is this going to come out? Because, is it literally, the sound of people talking to each other?
Yes.
Is it literally a bit of a script within the whole album?
Yes, it is. Yeah, there's a part when there's a song called The Lab, and that is where Cluckzilla actually gets zapped with gamma rays and expands, and you do hear the scientists talking back and forth, as they get ready to perform the experiments and stuff on him. And in the end there, after he expands and he starts to flatten the lab because he's very upset, you hear this, "What have we done?" and all this kind of stuff. And there's a general panic in the lab and everything. And there are actual bits of spoken dialogue in here.
That's excellent.
Yep.
Dare I ask who's performed some of this dialogue?
Well, let's see. How much do I give away here? Well, it could be me, kind of aided by technology, so you don't really know it's me. How's that? For a pretty vague answer. That's fine. Okay.
So it could. I mean, what you meant to say is, Sea Rage came into the studio and did a little bit, and then the lead singer Screwdrivers to ears was like, he was on the toilet, so I thought I'd just record him at the door.
Well, I grabbed him out of the lounge. We have a lounge here at Icebox Studios. It's just upstairs by my fridge. We are a multi-million-dollar operation here.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's like the dizzying towers of XRP Studios.
Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying. Yep.
The many multiple floors of one.
But you do have the third bridge there, though.
We do have the third bridge, and I'm still my sign. I have to say, my sign is still in my car. I just haven't clicked it yet. And the main reason is because I want to get the fencing done outside, because I can't pull it on a broken fence. I can't put that sign on a broken fence. So I'm getting the fence sorted, and then the third bridge sign will be there.
Yes.
For random reference to the listeners, there's a very tiny. When I say tiny, there is a tiny bridge outside the front of my house. It's not even a bridge. It's a travesty. That's what it is.
It's a bridge.
But we decided to dub it the third bridge. But yeah, don't think like I'm in some multi-million-pound mansion that's got a moat around it that's got a bridge out.
I always heard there was a helicopter pad on top of it.
We could probably actually fit one of those on there, but yeah, we'd kill a lot of seagulls in the process.
Oh darn!
Yeah, darn, she says.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't mind it. Apart from the noise, it'd be a bit shit for recording having a helicopter land, but
it's kind of funny. I'm gonna stop and think about it. I probably should have made this song about a whole album about a mutated seagull, huh? Would have been
better. Don't start having second thoughts now.
No, we would not promote a song about it. We wouldn't promote an album.
400-foot tall seagull.
I mean,
seagulls.
Penguins are better than seagulls. Chickens are still better than seagulls.
Yeah, for sure. I'd say they trump them. Yeah.
No, wrong day to say Trump. Blah.
Yeah, I know,
Sorry.
I know.
Anyway.
I kinda...
Sorry, I couldn't help myself there.
I know,
It's been all over our news, all over British news at the moment.
It was right there, man. I know.
Anyway, moving swiftly past that, I thought, as we mentioned seagulls, we should, and penguins being better than them, we should play that, and then I'm going to encourage you to, well, I might take a few of the questions from the chat box because I know we had a couple of them.
Okay.
Well, I mean, they're stupid, actually. I mean, one was from Mish, and another was a comment. What I would say is, and I think this is a good comment. Spam says the end of the Cluckzilla thing sounded very Final Fantasy.
That's an amazing compliment, actually.
I think that's a damn good compliment.
Wow.
That's not nice.
No, it is nice, Siri. I promise. I mean, I understand, because what it actually thought I said, I've got to say this live. My watch thought I said, I am very mean. That's stupid. Actually mean. One Mr. Miss. Why would say is why what would I think is good. Cummins, pharmacy is the end of the very Final Fantasy.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does all that mean?
I mean, it's apparently what I said. I think I need to put myself into a mental asylum swiftly. Right.
Yes.
What I was going to say, penguins are better than seagulls.
Right.
Craig Allen Hecht. That gives me, because people are commenting about the amount of times that I'm wiping my nose because I'm dripping snot. So I can run away and blow my nose. You and ALC can keep everyone entertained. I'll come back. We'll go through some new submissions and get you to review on them. We'll see if anyone in the chat box wants you to listen to their music and have you specifically as the great lord, Craig Allen Hecht, master of Icebox Studios and all that prevails within, except Connie. And
Yes, he doesn't prevail down here, so.
and we'll do. Oh, is it like that? Is it?
Isn't her sewing room down there?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
She does.
Here we go. This penguins are better than seagulls. Craig Allen Hecht. I'm gonna go blow my nose.
Okay.
Right, one sec. Blow my nose. I'll tell you, my nose is always dripping.
Oh, the cocaine.
Well, you know, he is a big-time music producer. They get stuff like that.
Yeah.
So. Now we're gonna have to talk about what kind of antihistamine is officially endorsed by XRP Radio.
There isn't one.
Let's get a nose plug.
I know when I was there, because I get seasonal allergies. And when I was there, I was like, all right, let's go to the store. Like, I really need some allergy meds. And we're walking around.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, Sudafed. I know that one.
Yeah. There you go. I know. I just picture Sudafed like in this plaid box, you know, for Scotland.
It's actually like all white. Like, they don't really brand out their medicine.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of boring. Shoot. This is an interesting song.
I mean, they're all interesting.
You know, I got to thank you for this one because you gave me the inspiration for this. You know,
we had better luck with the seagulls this summer. None of them came in the back door. But did we tell you the story of Puddles, the baby seagull?
No.
So one day I was like, man, those seagulls are dive bombing the cat. So I'm going to go look, right?
Yeah.
And Tizz comes out and he notices there's a baby seagull in the grass that had fallen off the roof.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm out there with a dustpan, and he's got a big metal rake, and he's swinging it around because the seagulls are dive bombing us because we're getting near the baby.
Yeah.
But I was trying to get the baby out of the yard into a grassy area.
Right.
The neighbors thought we were fucking nuts.
You know, honey, there's those people again.
Yeah. They're because Tizz out there, he's screaming, he's swinging the rake, and I'm like, let me get Puddles.
Yeah. Oh, funny. I just remember the story about the seagulls eating out of your cat food dish.
Uh-huh.
That line's in here. I had to use that.
Yeah.
You know. No, it's so funny because I think I told you before. You know, Connie had a couple different things where we were at those lines are in the movie about or in the song about they stole her pizza.
Yeah.
At a theme park. Then they pooped on her. I think.
Yeah.
They're not nice. You know. Oh boy, here comes a great question from DUI. What gear did you use? Well, we can talk about that for half an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
Yay!
There goes the chat now, man. That's all over. Let's see. What didn't you use, Craig? You see everything sitting behind me? Not even 3 times of that. So. Wow.
Oh, I ran then.
Yep.
You're listening to XRP Radio. I completely have my breath because I didn't run to blow my nose and get myself a drink.
He did run to blow his nose and get himself a drink.
Why would you?
Did you ever think about putting tissues in the studio, sir?
No, there is a reason for that. Well, there's 2 reasons. One is because I am a real sticker for mics and what I call sediment.
Yeah,
if a vocalist use my mic, I want to keep them sanitary and whatever. Blowing your nose around microphones. If I have tissues right here, I will blow my nose right here, and that's not a good thing for me to do.
Okay.
Needs a mini fridge.
Yeah. The other thing is just noise again. Like, I know if I can mute my mic for the listeners, but if I blow my nose right here by the microphones, I'll blow both your ears off, and I won't be thinking about it when I do it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So yeah, that is the reason. There are certain things that make noise that aren't in this studio, and there's a good reason. I would love to have a little mini fridge in here. That would be absolutely bloody brilliant, especially considering there are sets of stairs between me and getting a drink.
Well, yeah, you should do
this
that
place. Yeah, but then you've got something in this room that's going.
Well, I'm lucky that
all
way.
day.
I have a full-size fridge right behind my studio, but it's behind a set of doors, so I can just shut that and then I'm good. So I'm lucky.
See, that's not a bad idea. The problem is the way it's going. We'd have a mini fridge like in 8 different places in this house. If we start segregating the reason why and where we're putting them.
I mean, we just need one on each floor.
Yeah, there you go.
It is a bitch to have to go from the top floor to the bottom floor every time you get a drink.
Yeah. Yep. And again, I hasten to add, for all these people out there that, like, you're hearing this multi-story mansion idea, we have basically 1 room on each floor.
No, 2 rooms on each floor.
There's
2 rooms.
There's 2 rooms. There's doors there that make them 2 rooms. I reckon a lot of people in the world
would have 3 rooms.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. You put enough doors in a space, and you could have 20 rooms in our living room, but they wouldn't be very big.
Yeah, but we do have 3 doors on the basement, the downstairs, and all the way upstairs.
Not downstairs, not yet. Those doors still need fitting.
Well, we do have 3 separate rooms.
Yeah, but can you call a utility room a room? I'm looking at Craig here, and he's like, "What the fuck have I got into?" Let's move on from the size of our rooms in our house.
Okay.
Tizz is sediment.
I am sediment. We had a couple of questions. I need to scroll back because I forgot one of them. Oh yeah, I think both. Well, one's from Mish Happenings. It says
I saw that.
This is quite important, to be fair. At a pub, do you take when you leave? Do you take the glass to the bar, or do you leave it on the table?
Leave it on the table. Yep.
It's dependent, I think, on where you go. Because if you're sitting at a table and you have a waitress waiting on you,
that's me. Yeah, so I figured they're gonna come pick it up.
Okay. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like I would say in any kind of if you're having food specifically, restaurant or bar.
Our bars are like that too. Like our bars, even if you don't have food, if you sit at a table, you have a waitress come and go to the bar and get your drink and serve you.
Definitely.
The only time I'd leave, like if I know I'm walking past the bar on the way out, I'll grab my drinks, my glasses on the way out.
Well, that's nice of you.
Yeah, guaranteed. If I'm walking past the bar, if I'm outside, I'll leave them on the table. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But if I know I'm walking past the bar, and usually in a UK pub bar, the bar is on the way out anyway. So if I'm walking out, I will typically leave my drinks at the bar. Or even if it's a little diver, if it's the other side or in another room, then yeah, get lost. But I'm only so nice.
Yeah, I get that.
The other important question though is I think came from DUI about your gear. And not to make this go, because I'm a gearhead as well, so not to let this go on for too long. give us a little bit of a rundown of what's gone through Cluckzilla so far.
Do you want to give me like so many minutes, or like a time off thing where I stop talking about it, like limit me, or
No.
should I just go?
Well, how about we put it into categories? So, firstly,
Cool.
what instruments have been used on Cluckzilla?
Everything you see is sitting behind you. Let's see. I've got my Dean Flying V. I've got my 2 Stratocasters. Where am I here? My 2 Strats. That Ibanez bass back there.
That's the important one.
Yeah, my Ibanez GR bass. Let's see what else. Another Strat. Oh, my Parker Fly guitar was all over this thing. That's the one I call Red. She's all over that one. I haven't used the acoustics yet. The acoustics are sitting over here in their cases. I think they're going to figure into the last song a little bit more. So there is a couple acoustic tracks. Tokyo Sunrise is acoustic. That's a Taylor GS Mini acoustic guitar on Tokyo Sunrise. Yeah, as far as all that stuff. Synthesizers, I've got my Juno 61 Roland. A lot of synthesizer apps. I have tons of apps on my main PC here, and I have a master MIDI keyboard that I use to fire all that up. A lot of stuff by Arturia, if you ever heard of that. I use our synthesizers all the time. Really great stuff.
Because this is let me hold you on that, because this is an interesting thing about Craig for more modern music producers. Is you actually play your synths in, you don't sequence them in, do you?
No,
typically
I never sequence them. Everything's played by hand.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't do it fast enough in real time, I'll record it at half speed and speed it up.
I love that old school way of doing things. You're not doing not quantizing or anything, or MIDI tapping.
I don't have a click track. I don't use quantization. That's a hard word to say. Quantization. I don't use that. Generally, if you hear a violin, that's me playing a synth, or my secret weapon here, which is my my guitar synthesizer. I have a Roland GR20 guitar synth, and that's been a lifesaver for me because I'm a much better guitarist than I am a keyboard player. So if there's a really hard passage that I can't quite get on the keyboard, I'll play it on the guitar as a controller, use it that way. If I ever use kind of actual samples or looping, it's going to be some passage that's just too difficult for me to play. I will occasionally do that, but it's not too much, a little bit.
Like reeling back just a tiny bit, because this is something that I'm not specifically understanding of. Is guitarists with fuck tons of guitars. Now, I understand eventually about upgrading as a bassist. Like, I've had a bass. I used to keyboard. I had to sell some in a bad time of my life. But, like, I had my first bass, and then I bought a new one, and I always played the new one. But I kept my first bass, because it was my first bass. And then I bought a new one. And the only reason why I ever traded out basses was because one, I actually told you this, Craig, one was really heavy. My Washburn is so heavy that I bought a lighter one just so I could carry it around easier.
Yep.
Now, as a guitarist, and in knowing that you've used all of those, okay, there is a difference between acoustic and electric, or electroacoustic, obviously.
Yep.
But if we're gonna rein into your electric specifically, why did you use a specific electric at certain points? Why did it change your decision on what one to pick up?
It's basically pickup configurations.
Okay.
If I want a really a twangy, a cutting edge, I'll go to my white Strat because it's all single coil pickups, and then it has a lot more cutting edge to it. But they tend to hum a little bit more because they're not humbuckers. So you have to make sure you use a noise gate so you don't have buzz every place. The reason that I have all the ones, I mean, you really can't tell from your vantage point here, but the pickups are really different on each one. A couple of them have been modified with hotter pickups by my good friend Chuck Barek, who used to run sound for our band back in the day, and he's modified a couple of my Strats here. So yeah, it's really comes down to stuff like tone woods, how dense the material is. Certain guitars are going to sustain better, things like that. But basically, I get different tones from different guitars. That's the quick answer, I suppose.
Okay.
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Yep.
Typically, bass players have two, maybe. One will be active and one will be passive.
Yeah. The bass I have is active, which is great. It has 3-band EQ on there and stuff, and I can pretty much dial up anything. But
those Soundgear basses from Ibanez are piss cheap and absolutely astonishing for their sound, to be honest.
Yeah,
But,
it's great. You know,
You know,
I get a lot of different, like I said, I get a lot of different tones. I will say this though, you know, honestly, not to talk, you know, geek for everybody for like the next half hour, but so much of my tonality is coming from the effects pedals I'm using and like the guitar modeling setup I have, and that's where really all the variety is coming from, because I'm modeling, all these different amplifiers, you know, and virtual effects and virtual amps, virtual speaker cabinets and all that stuff. That's where a lot of my tone is, you know, so it's a lot of electronics at this point. But the hardware figures in there too as well. So yep.
As we've geeked out for quite a little minute.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks.
I thought I'd drag you into a little bit of what we do here on a Saturday, which is new submissions. Are you down for it?
Let me have it.
I like it when you say that. I like it when any guest says that. So, as you know, you've done this before with me, Craig. I have not listened to some of these before myself. This is our usual live review, hoping that all the sound works out as much as I want it to. Now, this specific section of submissions that I've brought for you today are actually from a segment from whilst I haven't been doing shows, so there was this chunk of music that kind of got ignored, unfortunately. However, now is our time to bring it to the light. One of which is from a band that I remember I don't know if you remember them, but I remember you commenting on liking them. It's the Darren Holland Project.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So you may know DJ Jencat, who does her show over there, is also a big supporter of the Darren Holland Project.
Right.
So this is their latest submission to us, called Hurricane. It is actually from a good few weeks ago. In fact, the end of last month, the 31st of July. And we missed it, unfortunately, which is very unlike us with the Darren Holland Project. I just got a message from someone that I probably don't care about. Right, there we go. Okay, so here we go. We know about the Darren Holland Project and the group of people that work with them. So let's see if this is anything different. Hurricane. Can you hear that all right, guys?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you want it a bit louder?
Yeah, a little bit.
Say when.
That's good.
Perfect.
Rams just said we ran around like headless Cluckzillas.
Great. Now I've invented a term now people are going to start using. I have a great story for you guys, but I know I should be listening to this track so I can see what I think here. Good Cluckzilla story.
Oh my god, I'm so tired.
We walked like 21,000 steps yesterday at the state fair, so I'm still recovering from that.
No way.
I love that you were like, I hit my goal weight, but I'm going to the fair, and Mish is like, haha, you made it all back.
You know what? We got back home and I lost a pound on top of what I lost already. That was funny. I think today it's catching up with me though. So I'm not eating much today. So.
Yeah, that's a lot of steps. And it was real warm.
Oh, it was so hot and humid. It was horrible. We were just dying.
It's cooled down a bit here. It's like 70.
Yeah, I've got like 72, I think, here.
It is the humidity that it's been the last 2 days. It feels just as hot outside.
Yeah, I know it's not. I gotta get my grass cut. I can go outside and not, keel over doing it.
You know what? I thought that kind of down was going to get old. But they kind of kept it going through the tune.
It almost kind of reminds me of Paint It Black by the Stones, that lick.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Kind of sideways sitar thing. I like how many vocals he has here. He must have 10 people singing it.
3 of them. It's him, his
Isn't
wife,
his wife? Yeah.
and the other girl.
Right.
Who's not like the other girl.
Yeah.
They've definitely layered up those vocals
Yeah.
with themselves, if not getting a group of people to do it.
Yeah, it's just so Stonesy to me. Things are different today. I hear every mother's... Yeah, that whole thing.
Yeah.
It is following that having everything follow, like, wow, what are the drums doing?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
All
hear
of
that.
their songs.
Did you hear that? The drums have suddenly gone metal.
Yeah. Yeah, big double kick all of a sudden. Wow.
That was unexpected.
Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot. Their songs usually tend to be more kind of folky, country-y.
Yeah.
Definitely on the lighter indie side.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the ending is kind of spacey. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice.
The Darren Harlan project with Hurricane. Yeah, that was an interesting one for sure.
Yep.
I think everyone here wasn't expecting the kind of metal drum break at the end.
Yep, for sure.
That was a bit wild, but it kind of worked as well.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I like the way that through... I was expecting it to get annoying or boring after a while, and it kind of didn't, which surprised me. But to have, like, not just the guitar, but the vocals and the drums at a point, pretty much everything in that song followed that don
Right.
rhythm.
Yep.
Like, not necessarily the tone, but the rhythm, that dun 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 was solid through the track. Until right at the end where it just kind of exploded.
Yeah, it's kind of cool to have like a repeating pattern like that and kind of like add to it maybe like as the song goes. But yeah, I agree with that. Just that strong melody, that da 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 through the whole thing.
For one of people in the music history realms, it had a very gamelan styling to it.
Yep. Like I said, for some strange reason, I got the Stones out of it, but that was just the lick to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's a popular lick that they kind of. I don't know whether they knew intentionally, but it was kind of just taken off rhythm, which made it a new thing.
Yeah, I think there's a tendency sometimes to be writing something and all of a sudden some riff falls out and you think to yourself, I've heard that before. I think a lot of times we kind of like tend to subconsciously use things that we've known like from years and years and years ago, and like you're not sure where you got them from, but they're there.
Yeah,
Yep.
It's the age-old issue actually of an independent artist, because like mainstream artists like Ed Sheeran recently got hit up because part of his song sounded like another song.
Oh,
and
that Marvin Gaye tune, yeah,
and if you're that famous, you kind of get duped for it. If you're not famous, or if you're underground, unsigned or independent, you tend to kind of get away and even get encouraged to use other people's little bits and pieces. And it's like, oh, that sounds a little bit like that. It's like when Gravehuffer chucked in half of bloody Staying Alive into the start of their tune, you know what I mean? And everyone laughed at it, and people didn't weren't negative about it. Whereas if they were making large amounts of money off it, the Bee Gees would be after them.
Yeah, but the genius part about the whole thing is that wasn't a sample. Those guys played that.
You know the craziest part of it? They played it like it sounded like them.
Yep.
And it's one of those awkward things as well. I mean, we're talking into very tentative and international boundaries on music legislation and legalities, whether them playing... I mean, the song was still composed by another artist, so it's still their intellectual property. So,
right.
But you know, replaying it themselves is another thing in certain.
Oh, yeah.
countries. It's a hard thing to. I mean, what level do you stop getting inspired and have to create your own music? You know what I mean?
Right. Yep. Definitely.
Oh, that's a deep conversation to be having at this time of night.
True.
Let's go on with some new music. The next track comes from an artist that has come with some specifically interesting track titles for me. The band name is Luch, Lugh, however you want to pronounce that. I'm going to say Luch. Now, song titles amongst 1981, Euro Salt, I Create Therefore I Am, Albert Blockhead, and the track that I intend to play now, which is The End of History. Now, with tracks of that description, you have a certain... Hello, Connie.
Hi, Connie.
Oh, hi, Connie.
Oh, hi.
We had to say hi.
Realize
Yeah, you're in the camera.
Oh, she's like, oh, no, I'm out.
Yeah.
So with those kind of titles, you have a certain idea of what this person may want to make his music around.
Okay, I'll wait for you.
Okay. Yeah, that Albert Blockhead one sounds interesting.
You know what? I'm gonna take your direction. Then I was gonna play The End of History, but I'm gonna play Albert Blockhead now
Okay.
on my guest request.
Okay, great.
Now, yeah, for anyone out there, if you get the link between the tracks, I'm not going to dive too much into it right at the moment, but I'd like to see the comments in the chat box at least. This is Lugh, Lugh, however you want to say it, Albert Blockhead. Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
I wasn't quite expecting this.
This kind of storms right in, doesn't it?
Honestly, I was expecting something a lot more proggy.
I like this.
This is an odd mix between. It's punk.
Yeah, but
But
that's
it's
kind of
also-
synthy, too.
Yeah, it's also pop punk. It's old school punky in production wise. Very rough and warm, and
This is one of those super catchy songs, though, and I like it.
it's got that head rock punk beat.
It does.
It almost
It makes one a hair whip.
I don't
I can't hair whip.
Yeah, no
I
hair.
don't
whip.
know what instrument it is, but there's a bit of noise that reminds me of very old school video games.
That's that synthesizer lick.
Yeah.
It sounds like, you know what it sounds like? A slightly souped up stylophone.
Yeah.
You're listening to XRP Radio. That track's finished. That was Look with Albert Blockhead. Not what I was expecting. I said in the background, I expected with the titles of their tracks. Honestly, I was expecting something a little bit more proggy and experimental and weird. And they came with what is, I want to say, like old school punk of the levels of like Sex Pistols, mixed with newer punk of the pop punk variety of the levels of Blink-182. But then with a little kind of mid thing of someone had a stylophone or something and wanted to add that in.
Yeah. That's different, though. I liked it.
It worked, yeah. It was catchy, but different.
You actually pronounced it correctly.
What did
Really?
I? Look.
Yeah,
Look.
it's Irish.
Right.
It's just
We blatantly got those via the earworm. Blatantly.
Yeah, it's just a masculine name, or it's a Celtic deity.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very Irish Celtic name.
Huh. The stuff you learn.
ALC, you need to come with more information like that on a regular.
I googled it because I wanted to tell you were saying it wrong. That's really the only reason I did that.
Unfortunately, I am one of the Celts, so I managed to say it correctly. I've got some pop music up for you next.
Okie doke. As he laughs, that's dangerous. Okay.
Well, I mean, I don't know yet because, as you know, I haven't listened to them. I was laughing more at the fact that I went, I've got pop here, and you went, okie doke.
Okie doke.
Like, why are you playing this to me? But you know me, I'm completely unbiased, and whatever happens, happens. So yeah, it's by an artist called Kelebosi. That's Kellebosi. However you want to say that. I probably pronounced that one wrong, ALC, so don't worry. But I really like the name of this track. And most people know I have a tendency to have an affinity towards good named tracks. Which is why artists always get annoyed when they submit a whole album and don't get the single they wanted played off it because they had one track on it called "My Uncle Was the Fox That Ate a Moon," and I was like, "Yeah, I want that track."
Yeah,
I don't know where that was completely off the top of my head. I don't know where it came from. The track's called "Sunset Aesthetic," which I thought was cool.
Cool.
So here we go. Kelebosi with what I just said. Oh, the standard 3-chord bass.
Not a word, in case you were wondering.
You know who these really remind me of?
No.
Well, of course you don't. Shall I tell you?
Well, of course.
Okay, let's tell you. I don't know if you remember XRP artist Tiny Ghost who did that Winona Ryder.
I don't, but
I like this a lot.
I guess so. She's from the UK. It looks like it's just one person. It's a girl. She's a singer-songwriter and producer, and her newest song was.
You know who else she's like? You know who else she is like? Fran Minnie.
Yeah.
This actually kind of reminds me of Annie from Parallax Faction.
Oh yeah, she does have a little bit of that to her.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't see Annie on this style of music, but
No.
I see the similarity between
With
the
the
both.
tone and the fact that it's just bass. A lot of times they just did stuff like that, like with the bass line, and she'd sing.
Oh yeah, like Dirty Bomb.
Exactly like Dirty Bomb.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see where you're coming with that now.
Yep.
It's got groove though.
It does.
It's very simple, but it's definitely got me.
But sometimes simple is the best way to go.
Mm.
Of course, you're talking to the wrong guy about that, but yeah, sometimes simple is the best way to go.
I mean, this is literally her voice, the bass, and the drum. That's it.
Yep.
And it really kicks.
Yeah. The little guitar lick is cool.
That's what I mean. And to lift it up, all they add is that guitar and just that little. Can you hear that pad synth in the background?
Yeah, I can. Yep.
That's a nice addition. And a shaker.
Yeah. Yeah, nice groove.
Sorry, I've got something on my mind.
That was rude.
Okay.
So when I googled her, I got like all her pages. I don't know if it's her actual name or if it's just her artist name. But I was scrolling,
Probably an artist name by the
Yeah.
look of it.
and it popped up. She's on iHeartRadio, and it said Kelebosi featuring Drake, Taylor Swift, and Ariana Grande, and I was like, I'm sorry, what?
Wow.
But it was one of their iHeart playlists.
Oh, right, okay.
I was like, what?
Right, here we go. You're listening to XRP Radio. You know what? I'm down for that Calabassi with Sunset Aesthetic. That's my kind of thing, to be honest. Nice, simple, smooth vocal. We said on the visual stream, I'm Fran Mini, Tiny Ghost, that kind of husky female vocals over simple licks, I think is just a good thing. It pleases me personally.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep, I enjoyed it. We've got there's 3 more tracks from her as well. So,
The Psychedelic Vision is her newest single, which made it as far as BBC introducing.
As everything does after we have it. In fact, I think we got pipped to the post this time. We've got to say it. For the first time in my entire history of knowledge, BBC introduced and played something before we did. Yeah. And let me hasten to add, that was because I was getting married and had a house under construction is the only reason why BBC pipped us to the post.
Otherwise, you would have beat them.
We would have beat him.
Yep.
Actually, that sounds bad because that sounds like I give a middle finger up to anyone that's already been played on introducing, which is not true. I'm not that bad. I'm giving you a vast variety of tracks, and I also know you have a life to lead. So if you need to escape, Craig, please do. But you know me, I'll keep you as late as I possibly can.
How about this? How about I got till the top of the hour?
Oh, he's using radio terms as well. I'll allow it.
Cool.
At the top of the hour, 10 o'clock, Craig will be leaving us. But until then, I'm gonna be.
What are we gonna do for an hour by ourselves?
You're gonna have Mish come on and have him introduce something.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Mission Spams, come join us.
There
You know what? We'll leave the live open, and if anyone wants to jump on, we'll chuck the link in the chat box, and anyone can.
There you go.
Can jump in.
It's a free for all.
Yeah. So next track up. It comes with a big title considering it's been put under the electronica bracket. If anyone's into their electronica, they know that there is a certain part of music in any track that everybody is waiting for. I don't know what ALC. Can you tell me what everyone waits for, especially like in drum and bass or dubstep? What is everyone waiting for?
To break?
Oh, you're almost close, but no. Craig, do you know what everyone's waiting for in electro?
Boy, a brand new Gary Newman album.
Oh, unfortunately, that's not the answer I was looking for. You're close, but not right. I felt like I was hosting an episode of Catchphrase there. No, it's The Drop, of course.
Oh, The Drop. Of course.
The Drop.
The Drop.
Now,
That's what I said. Didn't you hear me?
this track from KK Meloris.
I'm sorry, what was that?
KK Meloris, or Melorise, depending on how you want to say it. I'm guessing it's Melorise because I reckon it's a joke on Melodyne and Mellotronics and, you know. KK Melorise, Melodrone, whatever you want to call it, Mellotron, all of the things that are out there. But it's called The Drops, and it's an electronica song. So, I mean, it's calling for quite a something. I had a sentence in my head. I'm just going to play the track now. Is that okay, everyone?
Yep.
Okay. KK Melorise, Melorose, however you want to say it. This is The Drops.
Oh, she's really pretty.
KK Melorise.
Her name is Christina, and she came from Ireland. She came to Ireland from the Ukraine as a refugee. She's only been in Ireland for a year.
Why don't you do this all the time?
Donegal.
Yeah, she's like a fountain of information. This is great.
I'm on Google.
I've never
This
heard
isn't
of,
what I expected it to be.
I've never heard a piano put through an automatic wah before. That is really different, and a bit of a phase shifter as well. Processed.
Which one is this that we're listening to?
This is very different.
Yeah, really. I wouldn't call it an electronica track.
I can see how. I mean, everything in it is electronic, apart from the vocals, and they've been heavily sampled.
It's not a real piano.
Weirdly, like, she doesn't associate with this song. Like, it's not on her Spotify. It's not on her YouTube. Oh, there's one on the YouTubes. No.
At a quick ear, I would say she's giving it a go for nicer.
Well, this isn't at all what I expect.
Not at all.
Well, we have what, flutes?
Definitely European, at least, or Eastern Balkan.
Ukrainian. She's from Donegal.
Oh, she's from you. Okay, there we go.
Oh, it's pretty.
Yeah.
I like it. I do have an electronics question for you, Ted, when you have a minute.
Okay. I'm here for a question.
Okay. The whole EDM electronica thing. I want to know who invented that whole deal where the snare drum starts really slow, then goes faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. Who invented that? It's on everything, and I can't stand it.
I mean,
It's such a cliche.
I'm a fan if it's. I'm a fan if it's done not typically done like that, and you hear it in a lot of very open, poppy electro.
Uh-huh.
You hear it done a lot more clever in drum and bass and dubstep music. Oh, I've got to say words.
Okay.
That is the drops from KK Melorize. Not what anyone expected here. That's where you guys speak for a second.
Oh, yeah. What?
I can't.
Hey. If you guys are listening to not...
I meant about the goddamn music!
I'm going
About
to.
the music?
If they're listening like on the radio and not to us yammering live streamy, then they're missing the information that I'm actually Googling.
You could wait and say that when we're not in the middle of a track.
No.
I think people just have to have two monitors, and they have to have one on the live feed and then one on the one on the chat
That's right.
box.
We'd rather people be on XRP radio than watching on Facebook. So,
But they can watch it on XRP through the thing. They click the little button.
as Tizz stuffs his face, yeah.
Yeah, I think
See, people are watching.
Yeah.
And I look very washed out, and I have reflections in my glasses, so I look like very spacey.
I have that as well. I thought I got those photo whatever lenses, and I thought that would help. But
Oh, the UV, the blue light blocker thing. Yeah,
I've had all the stuff. I've had the anti-scratch, the UV, the photosensitive, and I still look like a prick. Don't know where that came from. My inner Mish just sprung out of me there.
apparently.
Craig asked me a question, which is quite interesting. He goes, you know that annoying thing where the snare goes like doof 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 doof.
Yep. That's
I mean, he didn't make that noise, thank the Lord.
I just wanted to make sure. Usually, when I make sounds with my mouth, people understand it better than my words. So I thought I'd do it that way. Anyway, and I was trying to say, like, yeah, in good music, in typical poppy stuff, everything's become so formulaic that, like, EDM is becoming more and more popular. It's more and more chart worthy, especially in the UK and Europe. It seems to be springing up a little bit over in the States as well, a bit more.
Yep.
And you've got that formula bred kind of 1-4-5-1 or 1-5-4-1 chord progression that's been eaten up over that same typical beat that people are familiar with because they know familiarity is popular. And if they can make something that sounds a little bit like a track that someone already likes, it's going to be easier to get into their ears and get into sales and get into Spotify and all that. Blah, 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 blah.
right.
When you dive down into more underground drum and bass and dubstep, they do use that build-up pattern to a drop. But they make it more interesting instead of just kind of double timing, then double timing again, then double timing again, and then having a big snare. But the person who invented the EDM drop was... I don't know, to be honest. I keep wanting to say Aphex Twin, and I think it was actually by a DJ called Ellie Boss on...
Yes.
I don't know the track. It was one of the modes, you have like Phrygian, Stygian, the modes of music.
Right, yeah.
Dorian. There we go.
Yeah.
Dorian. So was that the first track? Was that the first track actually? Did I get it right? Ellie Boss with Dorian.
Several websites cite that back to 1993 in Paris, but there is no...
I feel quite smart there for a second.
See, because you got to remember my whole experience with dance EDM type stuff. Remember the Chemical Brothers?
Yeah.
Remember Black Rock and Beats?
Yeah.
That's where I
Time
started.
with the Black Rock and Beats.
That's a long time ago. That's where I first even heard any of that stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean that typical drop. Yeah, it was kind of very late 80s, early 90s. But I mean, realistically, it was being used. Things very much similar were being used actually in progressive music when they started putting synths in prog.
Right.
And they built up those big kind of drops into and this is the weirdest thing. A lot of people get annoyed with parts of electronica music, and when they go back and listen, they realize that in a slower format, because obviously it's not like ridiculously high electronica BPM,
right,
that drop styling has been used millions of times in like Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin. And
no, I can tell you where gated drums came from. That whole thing. That was that Phil Collins tune that aired tonight. That they were the first one to hit that. Yeah, then that was every place. Right.
But, I mean, that's how you make drums massive, though. Get rid of all your overheads.
Right.
Compress the shit out of everything else and gate it.
Yep.
And you just get... And then put your overheads on another track somewhere else that you're not even listening to what's happening in that track on the cymbals and hi-hat.
Right. Yep.
That's the main thing. But I mean, again, that is a very typical way of producing an EDM drop, really.
Mm-hmm.
You have that, you start off with the and then you double it, and then you just double it, and then you've got an EDM drop. I can't do that with my mouth, unfortunately.
So you should have Kleenex in that studio. You can wipe all that off, and then you'd be okay.
Yeah, he won't blow his nose, but he'll spit sediment all over the microphone.
But if I ever do anything like that, I direct it at the spit guard.
Right.
That's
This isn't. I don't care what anyone says. This ain't a pop shield. It's a spit guard. That's what it's there for, really.
Over at your studio, it's a spit guard, but here it's a pop shield. But whatever.
Spit guard. Right. We've only got you for 10 more minutes. Let's try.
I gotta go away.
Let's try and get 2 more tracks in that time.
Driving Under Insanity has asked if we could review the song that me and Craig didn't get to listen to.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, that would make sense.
So we heard this a little bit earlier, but these guys didn't. I think it's brilliant. It also gives me a chance to go grab a drink and stuff as well, because I have actually already heard it. I rate this as one of DUI's best things, alongside Pretty Jane. It's faster, it's a little bit different to what he's doing. I'd say it's a little bit more punky, a little bit more rocky, a little bit more accessible.
Okay.
And also, he's made it somewhat catchy, trendy in title, because this is Driving Under Insanity with someone else, with the track Who's Driving.
I see what he did there.
I think that's brilliant. Right, here we go. This is Who's Driving, Driving Under Insanity. Best intro ever. Right, one sec.
Oh, Bob Barker died.
Wait,
Yes.
what?
saw
I
that
just sat
thing.
down to someone died.
Yeah, Bob Barker.
Bob Barker.
Who is Bob Barker?
Oh man, he wouldn't know.
Price is Right for a trillion years. He was 99.
Yep. Yeah, that was this morning.
On the track, I think this... I like DUI's other tracks, but I think this style suits that layered vocal that he does.
Yeah.
It's good. It's not Pretty Jane though.
I think I like Pretty Jane as a song because of the negative depiction of Tarzan. I think that's hilarious and brilliant. I think this sound is better for the vocal styling that he uses.
It's definitely got a lot of power and a lot of propulsion. I mean, man, it's a rocker for sure.
Yeah.
Big guitars. Yeah, nice.
That was Who's Driving? Driving Under Insanity with someone else. I've got the hiccups at the moment, so I apologise.
I did learn something non-musically related when I googled
Okay.
them.
Yes.
Driving under insanity is an actual thing. It's when you plead insanity during a DUI or vehicular manslaughter case.
Really?
Yeah,
What's the outcome of that kind of thing?
you're not
you still
usually
go to jail.
No, they lock you up because you're not held guilty because of insanity reasons. So
You know what they do is that
mental
hand you a-
hospital instead.
they hand you a guitar and tell you to start writing music. That's apparently what happened here, maybe.
And then we were here.
Yeah. You have to be.
But yeah,
nuts.
I think that suits that multi-layer vocal because he does. I don't know if it's the same on that one, but I know he does. It's two of them, but he does a vocal, the other guy does a vocal, and then he does a vocal that's got a tiny bit of auto-tune on it.
Yeah.
So you've still got the honest underlying of the vocals, but then
Right.
you've got that little poppy sound that you get from the lilts on an auto-tune.
Yep.
There's also 6 guitar tracks on that song.
Yeah.
That's what I thought because man, that was massive.
It was huge, and I was going to say with that many guitar tracks of, what seems to be a distorted variety, or a heavier variety, for it to not overwhelm the drums.
Yeah, that's a constant fight, boy. I fight that one too, because I don't like drums that are too buried. But as obviously you guys know, I love guitar, so there's always that. You don't want to draw one or the other out. There's that kind of fine line you have to walk. Although I was looking here in the chat though on StreamYard, and DUI says he only has 13 guitars. Maybe he used all of them on this track.
He
Yeah.
said earlier at one point he had 50 or something.
Yeah, he had 50
guitars and basses.
Yep.
But he downsized.
Yeah, so I guess 13 and 5 is better. Well, it's less to dust, I suppose.
The
I
vocal
could see that.
tracks for any of his songs are 6 to 12 different tracks
Really?
on any tune.
Wow, that's
You-
impressive.
You can definitely hear them, and
Yeah.
and that mix. What I like more than anything is, you know how anti auto tune I am.
Same here.
However, when you've still got the honesty of the real vocals underneath, and you're using it as a kind of
In effect.
I don't know because he's using it as an effect, but is it also a very clever way to be honest about your music whilst also giving that ear to mainstream listeners that like they're used to that, they want to hear that?
Yeah, that's a tough question. I'm not sure. As long as autotune isn't used as a replacement for talent, I'm okay with it. I mean, if you can actually sing well and you want to use it as like a special effect, yeah, great. But don't use it as a crutch.
Yeah.
What
do you say about electronica producers like myself who have a song? I'm not the best singer in the world. I have a hook. I don't have a singer to perform it or a singer ready to work with, and I do it myself, and I use auto-tune. I've produced the whole rest of the track. Everything else is me. Apart from I've had to use auto-tune just because I know I'm not a good enough singer.
Yeah, I think that's fine. I think that's just aiding your ability through technology, you know. Because really, at the core, it's still you, right?
Yeah.
You're just kind of giving yourself a little bit of a boost.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, that's cool by me.
I guess it's similar to you being the guitar guy, but using a drum backing because you're not a drummer.
Yeah. No, I was a drummer when I was like 5, you know, and I finally got to the point where I can't. There was no room to have drums around the house, to be honest with you. So I had to get rid of those, you know.
And I guess in an ideal world, we'd all use, well, not use, but collaborate with someone that's just around the corner who plays drums. Just we don't have all them.
Yeah, I have tossed around the idea of getting one of those, you know, less expensive electronic kits and just throwing it in here just to bang on it and see what I get out of it, you know. But we'll see, maybe at some point. So who knows?
I don't know if I mentioned this to you before, but an inexpensive, knowing you're getting into the DAW realms as well.
Yep.
An inexpensive substitute for that I used to use all the time was, do you know the Wii or the PlayStation, you know, Rock Band?
Yeah.
You can get the drum kit for those for like 15 quid, 20 bucks.
Right.
From a shop, yeah. They're USB input. You can plug them into your computer and use them as a MIDI trigger.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you need to get... If you ever want to do that, just let me know. You need to get a little program that's called... the best one to use is Gamepad Companion. And it basically maps the MIDI triggers into keys.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
But I used to just have 2 of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And because they're Rock Band, you take them all apart, they'll fit in a drawer.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, so they're small and pack away. The only thing that you don't get from them is their on-off triggers, so you don't get velocity. But
right,
if you get 2 of them for $30,
yeah,
it's an inexpensive way to do it. And in hindsight, there's things on DAWs now called humanization. It's a bit of a fucked up thing, but basically you play in a consistent 1-2-7 thing, and it will see it as a hard on-off, and it will humanize it in like, oh, he wouldn't play so heavy on beat 4 or 6. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
I just went beat 4 or 6. Can someone castrate me?
Beat 4.
Beat 4 or 6.
No, 1,000 years ago, I had a set of those Mattel Electronics Syndrums. It was like this black pad thing with 4 little drums on it. And you just bash it with a stick. Yeah, this is like 80s, you know, and it was like $100 or something like that. It would go boo boo, you know, that type of thing, you know. Yeah. And I think I threw it in like 2 songs, and that was about it, you know. But
they were fun though.
Yeah, it was something to mess with. I'm always all about different sound sources. If I can get sound out of something, I'll probably throw it in a track somewhere. Well, you know, I hate to say this, but I probably have to get going here, guys.
I know. I was going to try and get you to do another track, but then we chatted about stuff. But it's been a pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you so much. It's just been wonderful. We'll have to talk more about Cluckzilla as things progress. There is kind of a loose release date right now, end of September. You know, so we'll have more details with that as things progress here. But thanks again for the time on the chat, and thanks for anybody in the chat that was listening to the Terror Cluckzilla. I think you're going to be happy with the album. I play it all the time. I mean, I think it came out pretty well. So I'm curious to see what everybody thinks about it. So
you always know that you know when a piece of music is good when the musician's listening to it itself. When musicians typically dislike their own music.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So there we go. If I could play any song to play you out on, what would you like to be played out on?
Oh man, that's too much pressure. Oh man,
sound like Kat when I ask her.
Well, you see, I like the same stuff that Kat does. You know, I'd say something like Tax Return.
Yeah.
Why do you need to do yours?
I just like the song.
Okay, here we go. Craig's off. I hope you have a lovely rest of your evening.
All right.
And yeah, we'll see you soon for the release.
Yes, we have to touch base on all that stuff. So I'll keep you informed as to how things are going.
Yeah, I guess I'm just waiting. And like a usual situation for me, I'm waiting for you to finish.
Yeah. Well, Connie is going to be gone with some friends all day on Monday, so I figure that gives me the whole day down here just to work. So hopefully I can finish off that last song, which now might be 2 songs.
Right,
So,
Kat, we need to just for the whole of Monday. We need to just send him messages going work, work now.
I have to work both jobs on Monday, so.
well, I was going to make a pizza at some point, but you guys got to eat, right?
No pizza, only work.
No, not, the way it's working now is that there will be the big battle, and then I talked to you, Tizz, the other day about the poem thing at the end. I'm calling that the benediction now. So the spoken word part, and that's how it winds up. So.
No, on Monday, like if you want pizza, I want you like guitar in hand, poking the microwave with the
but I get the strings all greasy and everything, and you probably slide better, I suppose.
Do it with your mouth, just hang. No touching the pizza. You point a finger as your headstock, and anything else you do with your mouth.
What if I throw you a 180 and I just want to have it be a guitar song? It'll be all piano. Is that better? You wouldn't.
I guess you got a hand free, so
you wouldn't see that coming. I love doing stuff people don't expect.
The problem is now I'm expecting accordion, so there won't be accordion. You're a very clever man.
I'll tell you something. If I can tell you anything, and this is a big secret behind the album, I really wanted to play spoons on a track. Because when I was a little kid, like in 4th grade, my mom and dad gave me a set of spoons, and I was really good at it. I was like, man, this is fun. I wish I could have. I probably should have put it like on the Tex and Betty country track. That would have been really cool to have spoons.
Wait a second. Didn't you play? Yeah. Didn't you play spoons for us a while ago?
Nope, not me.
Are you sure?
Positive. I know. I might have talked about it. I might have talked about it, but
someone played spoons. Anyway, whilst I try and figure that out, I swear it was you. I swear I convinced you.
I swear, man, it wasn't. For as bad as my memory is these days, sure it wasn't me.
Before you go, I just want to add that Connie's just popped up and says, "Don't blame me. You can work anytime."
Well, she's not wrong. It is kind of cute. It is kind of cute. Every Monday morning, we have our breakfast and stuff, and then I head downstairs and I go, "Well, honey, I'm off to work." I'll call you when I call you on lunch break. So like anybody else hops in the car and drives off to the office, I just go down to the studio. So that's my job these days. It's
I like it.
Not a bad job to have, huh?
No.
Yep.
Well,
all right, guys.
We won't keep you from it anymore. As requested by you, this is tax return. I've gone for a rhyming dictionary because it's the obvious one.
Right. Cool. Nothing else. I'll probably see you guys on Tuesday.
Oh, most certainly, if not before.
Yep. All right. Take care.
Catch you later, mate. This is Tax Return, Rhyming Dictionary.
Bye-bye.
Here we go.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, he was off.
I think dinner was ready.
Wait. So anyone that's still watching us, you can request stuff and whatever. We got about 53 minutes left.
Damn mute button.
Why have you muted? Oh, you're singing. From matching up words, I got my rhyming dictionary. Rhyming dictionary. Oh, why does my nose always run?
And it's New Year's Day, we're somewhere outside Green Bay. Now we're digging up clay, and it's 50 shades of grey. But it tastes like Milky Way, thanks to my rhyming dictionary. Rhyming dictionary. Don't try and stop me from matching up words. I got my rhyming dictionary. Rhyming dictionary. Just try and stop me from matching up words. I got my rhyming dictionary. pig, offshore rig, bag, shag, red rag,
Black flag.
hop, jump, fist pump,
Double jump.
burn,
Burn. Lorry burn. Tax return.
rhyming dictionary. Just try and stop me from matching up words. I got my rhyming dictionary. Rhyming dictionary. Just try and stop me from matching up words. I got my rhyming dictionary. Rhyming dictionary. Just try and stop me from matching up words. I got my rhyming dictionary.
What have we got to do now?
Well, something cool that happened in
Ooh,
the chat
why are you a million times louder than you were before?
because I'm muted so I can sing the song.
Yeah, but you're even louder than that. Anyway, carry on.
So the person that is someone else under Driving Under Insanities is a hip hop kind of rap artist, and we're trying to get him to upload his stuff separately. But him and Driving Under Insanity did a song for like a local Fright
Excuse me?
Fest. It's a horror themed song, and he just uploaded it.
Ah, is it possibly called Dr. Volcano with Dead Human Puppet Show?
Yes, it is.
Oh, right then.
Hello there. You, yes, you, the one listening. Dr. Volcano here. Just wanted to remind you to mind your manners. Or a song like this could end up being about you. In the unexplored shadows and the oft-ignored corners, abandoned basements, attics, closets, and other homes of horror, we stretch through that black, and we whisper in that darkness, and we reach inside your mind to find the ultimate catharsis, to leave you screaming, wondering exactly where your heart is, the terror teeming, thundering, dreaming of your carcass, half-eaten, seemingly bereft of any human form, badly beaten beyond reasoning and left to fertilize the corn. And there's no happy ever after, but there's tragedy galore, and there's no cheering and no laughter. There is only gore, and when your broken body just can't take it anymore, that's when this unspoken hobby gets real hardcore. See, we'll string up the corpse and let it dangle from the eaves like a dead human puppet show to alleviate the grief. And it won't just be you. No, we'll also kill your friends, and we'll string them up too.
It is
Make
awesome.
them kill you again in a vicious reenactment. All
Being able to
hosted by
speak
me,
like that in rhythm
Dr. Volcano
is difficult.
presents your murder, and it will not be PG.
It's not just rapping like you're saying a tale. You're listening to XRP Radio. That was awesome. Dead Human Puppet Show from Dr. Volcano. Apparently that guy does that song every day for almost, I think, 2 months.
A month. Yeah.
For a local horror fright fest. Which is cool. I've said it in the chat box, said it to ALC. I'll say it now. That speaking a tale to the rhythm is real difficult. I in inverted commas, rap. It's nothing like rapping.
Yeah, I don't know if I could. I mean, I can't really do anything musically, but I feel like that would be so hard.
It's very difficult to do. Writing it is difficult enough, and speaking it is even harder. To try and put a story to words or a poem to words, not like a rap that is being constructed to beat. Even though that may have been constructed to a time frame, to speak it out as a tale in a somewhat pantomime cabaret styling is real difficult. It's not an easy thing to do. So, yeah, that's a cool thing. Right then. I really randomly, I don't know why this has just came into my mind, but This is In the Dark We Dwell from Risking the Ridicule.
Obviously.
She sat in a diamond throne whilst claiming poverty. He was from the wrong side of the track. She
No, he's
said, "Boy,
dripping
that
like
don't
a...
bother me, 'cause you got it all, and I can tell."
I think it's because this is kind of another story put to beat.
Dropping off her, and she's so detached, she's got a love affair with speed. He's on smack, I guess they're right, yeah, opposites do attract. He's far from a hero, she's far from a heroine. Pick a poison, pick a needle, pick a vein, put the venom in. She pictures his buzz as the opposite of adrenaline. He dabbles in darkness that she has never been in. You carry me more than I carry you.
You carry me more than I carry you. You carry me more than I carry you.
You carry me more than I carry you. You carry me more than I carry you. You carry me more than I carry you. You carry me more than I carry you. You carry me more than I. In the dark you dwell. 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 In the dark you dwell.
In the dark you dwell.
We sold his guitars and fishing rods for tackle. We took 30p for each DVD, lugging them home was more hassle than it was worth, than what they're worth. When there's no worth, then everything's cursed. She waited for him on a single dirty mattress. He knocked the window, she let him in, cause that was their practice. He dumped his jacket on the floor, barely looked at the cradle. Removed his hat, closed the curtains, then chucked the wrap on the table. You carry me more than I carry you. 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 She said I wanna feel like you do for just one day. He burnt the foil, she sucked the bar and drifted away. She sank in a murky lake.
Need to take pics while there's sun, Bondo.
Now she's got tracks all up and down her arms, and he's like, "Yo, that don't bother me."
For those listening on various social networks, you can join us at xrpradio.co.uk/chat. And the other people in our chat box talking about the music and things. Risking the ridicule in the dark we dwell, because I don't know why, I just thought that was the right thing to do right at this time. You're listening to XRP Radio, and we're playing some new submissions and old favourites and stuff. We just had Craig Allen Hecht release some joy in the form of a sneak preview of The Terror of Cluckzilla, and ALC is about to recite her poem as normal. Why you swear at me?
I swear at you.
It's not my fault that your eyes down into your phone.
Craig texted me.
He may have, but we're doing a show here. God damn it!
Can we take a nap?
In 42 minutes.
Okay.
And even though I've alleviated that situation for you, you're not going to, so don't complain.
I know I'm not.
You know you're not what? Going to complain, hopefully, yeah.
No, I know I'm not going to get to nap. Goodbye, Mish.
Is Mish gone as well? Everyone's going.
Yeah.
What?
Wanker.
We played a Late Cambrian tune earlier, and we didn't play Homely Rare, so...
Why do you play all the songs I want to sing?
Because it's the right thing to do.
But we're
If you want to
live.
sing them, they must be good.
I gotta mute then.
Screamed and her mother bled. A light in the crystal wood put her to bed, where they filled her crib with leaves. No one believed what they were told about. The nurses and the doctor all blocked it out. But under hypnosis they would scream and shout, and they had to be relieved. Holy Rhea, lonely player, what's she saying on that fake toy phone? Some local law. She's trapped in the bedroom, they lock the door. Poor Rhea can't go to school. The tablets created quite a stir. The Karens, they wanted the manager off to raise the townsfolk were indulging in semi-rule. Suddenly there's Rhea standing at the door. They all forgot what their pitchforks were for. Minds erasing, except her honey. Can you hear me? 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 Can you hear me?
Only Rare Late Cambrian. Interesting subject kind of brought up from Driving Under Insanity, yeah. There have been times where we've lent towards doing the visual stream thing, and there's a lot of people doing stuff on social networks already that are similar to this kind of look, where they review tunes and put on live videos. We did do a live video thing as well with, let me think. I know the track. I just need to find the band.
Oh yeah, you did.
Stone Pit Drive, Louisiana. And with the right permissions put in place and stuff, it is something that we can do, but there's so much behind it, and ideally we need the videos submitted to our platform so we can play them on our platform, so we're not nicking them off and getting legality issues everywhere, which sucks. So yeah, and especially when you go to visuals. So on YouTube and Facebook specifically, there's a lot of copyright stuff. So especially if any musician has uploaded their music anywhere via CD Baby, DistroKid and stuff like that, it automatically filters into Facebook and YouTube's copyright algorithms. So if we play that tune, even though you've said we can play the tune, Facebook and YouTube automatically pick us up and flag us for copyright infringement. And from that side, because you're not direct submitted with a bigger label like EMI Universal or whatever, it puts this automatic copyright thing in, and that gets sent to CD Baby and DistroKid and the people that have submitted the music on your behalf, which aren't going to alleviate that copyright thing. And we've tried it with a lot of other bands who are toing and throwing with CD Baby or DistroKid or one of the many other things. And it means we never, like, even if they send it off and say, can you alleviate this? Because it's then 6 months plus on YouTube or Facebook or one of the other social networks copyright ban. It never gets put back up. Only now, and I don't mind too much because they've been up long enough and I don't think people are going to go back and watch them so much, but we're starting to get copyright infringements from 2 years ago Zerpathon. That's how long it takes, and then they don't take the videos off, but they mute big sections of them, which causes, well, it's just a bit shit, basically. And obviously everyone in the Zerpathon were part of the Zerb. They asked us to play their music and wanted to support us, so yeah, a bit of an awkward one. Right. More music, I guess, is the core of the evening. I haven't played either Grandad or the other one that I play all the time.
Okay.
Fuck, why can't I think what it's called? I'm going to play Grandad anyway. Why can't I think what it's called? I love it as well. Oh. This is an epic. Such a big sound to start with, and then and you get that big epic at the end. Why are you shaking your head at?
Because I'm feeling an absolute idiot.
Why?
Because driving understanding, he's like, oh, I'm going to send you those songs, you know, so you can listen to them. And I'm like, oh, here's where you find me on Facebook. He's like, I know, we're friends. And I'm like, oh, yeah. And he sent me a message. I'm like, oh, that's who you are. I didn't remember his first name.
Oh, so you only remembered, but typical you.
But...
Oh, yeah. You okay there? Close your eyes.
I'm so tired.
Oh. Hi, ALC.
Hi, Tizz Nation.
Why did you marry me after only being in the same country as me 4 times?
Well, that's kind of, deceiving because so the first time was what I think was 4.5 days, and the second time was a little bit longer. It was like 15 days, but then the last 2 times was 11 weeks. Well, that's enough time.
Is it?
Yes. I
Is
mean,
it
when you think
really?
about it, like percentage wise, it's like 6 months out of the 4.5 years we've been together. It's a very low percentage. Just 10% of our relationship we've been in the same country.
Yeah. That's fine. It's time. We got half an hour left.
Can I request a song?
No, but what is it?
Buffalo Huddleston.
With?
Sexy Lady. Do that one.
Okay.
I like that one.
I know you do. Sexy lady in my head. Wanna get my clothes off and get down in my bed. Did you know I'm gonna be up all night? Make a body for two until the morning light.
Seems like things be different, girl. I'm stuck looking for the words, but these herbs got me mucked. And I need to save ya. Free from paper when I try to speak face to face. My brain fakes a phase. Just like I can't speak.
You know what? I don't mind the rap in this, but I know other people give it bad press. And then a few people have said, oh, sounds a bit like you, and it made me upset.
Aww.
I need to speak now, forever hold my peace. It's not face to face, it's just words and beats. But this is my way to show my kisses today. Listen to the words that I've been itching to say. Sexy lady,
In my head.
wanna get them clothes off and get down in my bed. You know we're gonna be up all night. Naked party for two until the morning light. Right, listen.
I'm on the right mission.
Searching around for happiness, well that's what my mind's wishing. It's like a fly fishing high for a fine vision. Kick it with the guys ditching to find nice women hiding in life's prison. I'm blinded by high living, a size is fine. Time passes by my vision. The live light glistens, the bright night's missing. I tried to find signs, but I like so I missed them. Slow wisdom prized up in my hoping, but I'm broken from the legal high smoking. I see this time token, so we match. I'm not a penny, I'm a token. Close and chink that latch. You can bring a back, but nothing else compares to your style, your aura, and the colour of your hairdo. I pull rare moves, bare boots and share dudes as I stare through the air to your fair moves. Sexy lady, in my head, for my head, wanna get them clothes off and get down in my bed. 'Cause you know we're gonna be up all night, naked body for two until the morning light. It was that look of passion, the look of seduction. Looks are so good looking and my hooks couldn't function. Hooked in by something so shook that I'm wanting more and more of what I'm seeing. But my need is good at being stubborn. It's really nothing, but I'm afraid to ask nice. To glance twice, picking up some feelings from my past life. I wanna show you, but I can't quite pass sight. Keep my mad mind deep where you can't find these things I'm seeing. A piece from past times. It must be weird, dusty fears as the past rhymes. Fast to the mad lies, dancing a flash right onto your gorgeous face, bright like a flashlight. Sights keep appearing and my head is spinning. When we're sitting chatting, it just feels like we're reminiscing. Memories and better living, never hit the better rhythm. Let this sniffing do the trick like medicine for skepticism. Sexy lady, in my head, up in my head. Wanna get them clothes off and get down in my bed. Oh, 'cause you know we're gonna be up all night, naked body for two until the morning light. Sexy lady. Gonna get them clothes off and get down in my bed. Oh, 'cause you know we're gonna be up all night. Naked party for two until the morning light.
A sexy lady here on XRP Radio. They played the Guernsey Pearl Garden Party on the 12th of August. Most recently, that I know they, I think they did a wedding as well, and they've done a few festivals over in Guernsey. They're always doing the Guernsey festivals. So fair play to them.
Where is Guernsey?
It's an island off the UK.
What side?
I want to say south side.
Oh, I know there's that one island over by Kent that we're not allowed to talk about because nobody goes there.
Oh yeah, no, it's not. It's not there.
Oh.
It's in the English Channel, closer to the French coast.
Oh, I have no idea where France is in compared to the UK. So let me look at a map and I'll get back to you. It's fine.
It's not by Japan. Yeah, it's apparently a lovely little island to live on, and it's got a great little music scene within its own little area, I guess. Yeah. What's quite weird is they've, as islands, they're crown dependencies, so somewhat Commonwealth, but each of them have their own laws and customs.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
that's similar. Like we have, like Guam and Haiti and stuff that are American territories and provinces, but they do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah. Apparently they live by Norman practices, which is very old. I don't know much about it, but it's something that I'm quite interested in, actually.
Time
To
to
see
do a
how
Googling.
That differs. But yeah, it comes under the protective wing of British government, but is part of the British Isles, not the United Kingdom. It's got its own flag and everything.
Huh.
Yeah. So, like, a British citizen wouldn't need a passport to go there.
Right.
Apart from we probably would with increased security these days to prove who we are, but not for the reason of that. Okay, let's keep it acoustic-y. I'm going to play the recording that I did of Troy Fade. Well, one of multiple recordings, but this is Rant and a Whittle, which I mistyped and called Rand and a Whittle. Which, in my personal opinion, he plays better here than on his own album.
Stand and petrify my hands along the way with a form that is indescribable to name. Right or wrong, move along. Well, even the best love is brittle and blind, and surface hopefuls are easy to find. Same old drone, Eliza knows. They say the stronger your spirit, well, the deeper the strain. If you don't find release to give for what you made, right or wrong, move along. Sidelines, lifelines, looking to remind you of the thoughts that hold the lessons they to tell you. Same old drone, Eliza knows. there's so much more to living than what we can see. If I thought I knew better, I'd say you and I were me, right or wrong. Move along. Long days, all time, all time.
Perfect half time. We're easy to find. Same old drum. Lies alone.
Thank you.
Troy Fade live at the Red Lion for an XRP gig. What would you do it any other way? I feel like we have to have some sirens and some Beatrix players.
Yes.
I played Stars the other day, so I should probably go for Undeserved, as they're my two go-tos, and that's the kind of mood I'm in. Is that okay? Are we allowed?
You're allowed. You're going to do it anyways.
I was. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm not sorry.
You're not.
I'm not. I love a tune still.
I'm on the inside, shut me down and open doors. Smile when I ask you to appreciate the raw taste of me. Just love my company. It's not a lot to ask of you. You're nothing without me. Understanding that we all stand ashamed and in the corner again. Generating misunderstandings because we all need a friend. Revolving melodies you created, I'm still feeling the pain. Fascinated by the beautiful mess, and know my color is drained. Study me, make me your hobby. Practice me, and learn to play me well. Don't you tell me that I'm not worthy. Make me feel undeserving. Believe me, it's not working. Understanding that we all stand ashamed and in the corner again. Generating misunderstandings because we all need a friend. Revolving around ideas you created, I'm still feeling the pain. Fascinated by the beautiful mess, and all my color is drained. For anyone who doesn't fit the frame, the best ideas exist in a broken brain. It's not a crime to for pride
To be stood by you, not a crime to be proud to be stood by you. It's not a crime to be proud to be stood by you. It's not a crime to be proud. That is a tongue twister.
pride to be stood by your side.
It's not a crime to feel proud to be stood by your side.
Understanding that we all stand ashamed and in the corner again. Generating misunderstandings because we all need a friend. Revolving around ideas we created, I'm still feeling the pain. Fascinated by the beautiful mess, and all the colors drained. Understanding that we all stand ashamed and in the corner again. Generating misunderstandings because we all need a friend. Revolving around ideas we created, I'm still feeling the pain. Fascinated by the beautiful mess, and all my color is drained. For anyone who doesn't fit the frame, the best ideas exist in a broken brain. For anyone who doesn't fit the frame, the best ideas exist in a broken brain.
Right, ALC, we're at the end of the night. We've got 16 minutes left. I said I'd play Elsa from the Beatrix players. I think I'll play the new one from the Boyd Bros as they're in the chat box with us. And then if I've got enough time, I'll do the Rodina and Polar Try back to back. Does that sound good to you?
Sounds good to me.
Man, that was easy. What did I do right, or what did you do wrong?
I'm so tired.
Elsa, Beatrix players. And I think on that note, I think we'll end the live stream here on the various places. If you want to join us for the rest of the show, the last 15 minutes of the show, head over to xrpradio.co.uk/chat where we are right now. And you'll get there. That's xrpradio.co.uk/chat. Or just type in XRP Radio into Google, you'll find us. Ask Alexa to play XRP. Do all that kind of stuff. But until then, from me and her, well, from me it's bye, and from her it's, oh, you did it. Do you want to do it again? From her it's
bye.
There we go. See you later, everybody. Now I've got to do the thing.